welcome to our Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle ATL By Night. Chapter 5, The Hierophant. Let's welcome back our vampires.
I'm Zachary Vaudo, playing Anton Krvoposkov.
And my name is Tyler Sutherland, playing Aaron Ulrich.
And I am your storyteller, Ellie Collins. As always, a big thank you to the Neighborhood Studio for giving us our home here. Also, we want to make a quick announcement that myself, Anton, and Jackson of the Sabbat will all be a part of Virtual Horror Con, a virtual tabletop horror gaming convention that will be February 19th through the 21st. You can go to virtualhorrorcon.com for more information and get your tickets, where you can see live plays, panels. We're doing a whole bunch of really cool stuff over there. So yeah, definitely check that out. And I think that is it for my announcements. So now, without further ado, let's sit back and relax, and let's tell a vampire story. When last we saw our kindred, they had gone to an art gallery showing that strangely contained something personal to each of them. For Mel and Thomasina, paintings of a past they had almost forgotten, but was still intensely dear to them. For Anton and Aaron, touchstones, people from the here and now that tethered them to their humanity. After receiving a strange invitation from the curator to go to the cyberpunk bar Little Trouble, they went there to visit the Sabbat Bishop Lydia. Their night ended with the painful realization that the entirety of the Sabbat of the bar patrons were no less than 6 separate gangs of Sabbat. Now we pick up with 2 members of our coterie, Aaron and Anton, spending some time together, it seems, as all their coterie mates have pressing matters to attend to during this chaotic time. What are you 2 doing?
To start with, I'm coming downstairs after raiding Hex's room for a replacement phone, because got a text from an unsecure line that I had to account for.
Okay.
So just come back down. Sorry about that.
Is everything all right?
People need to learn, some people need to keep in mind the coding when texting in these matters. So, no phone, same number, forwarding.
Gotcha. Do you need me to brick the old one?
I did that perfectly fine myself.
Gotcha.
Brute strength, yeah.
That'll do it.
Ugh.
That's Cirrus's scarf?
No, I had this scarf since, 2008. I wore it all the time. Cirrus shows up, part of coterie, I put it away. I'm not exactly going to wear it while he's around. He hasn't really been around in a bit. I figure, why not, right?
I don't think Cirrus would fault you for wearing a scarf.
No, people are going to ask me what you just asked me, though.
That'll do it.
Besides, he wears it better.
I checked the fridge for any blood bags.
You now have 3 of them.
Nice. All right, leave them there. I don't know where we're going to go tonight. I'll take one with me.
Okay.
And I don't have a bag anymore. I will tuck it in my pocket for now.
Okay.
How have you been holding up since Lydia?
Not particularly well. I was. Believe it or not, I was actually entirely fine speaking with her. It was when all of her foot soldiers suddenly turned and acknowledged us that things started to change in my perspective. It is quite a different scenario than I simply want to come and go with my business as I please when she brings a small army with her to a meeting.
Right.
You can say what you want to about safety and numbers, but that is already quite the showing of a Sabbat.
Did you recognize any of her followers?
No, I did not. I imagine they are all new recruits, since if we are to take her at face value, then she is newly returned to the city. And besides, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily have recognized or run into every single member of the Sabbat while I was here. So for all I know, there could be some old hat, but possibly not.
From what I remember, you were very good at taking out Sabbat. Were there any that got away that might have your name and picture on a refrigerator waiting to take you out?
No.
Okay, simple enough. We can shift away from this.
Maybe not entirely. I have been doing some more thinking on this, and you are correct. I was good at what I did. But this is not a war zone anymore. Not yet. I would very much like to keep it that way. I would very much like to do what I can to discourage it from becoming that yet again. And it is because of this that I have a question for you, or rather a request of you. This is one that you do not have to immediately answer, but the sooner the better. I would very much like to begin work, and I'd very much like an answer by the end of the night.
Sure.
When you were taken, when we got you back, I told you that I could help you figure out what was going on with you, and you were not wanting to because this was very strange and chemical. This was not something natural. You were not sure what it would do. You have since found out what it did. And you found out with Alejandro, yes? And you fed from Alejandro.
Yes.
And you are stabilized now. You are not the unpredictable laboratory hybrid. You have this ability, you have these side effects from what they did to you, but you are using this ability the way that you would any other.
Sure.
I can do more to quell this threat, should it need be. But I need more available to me. And it is because of this that I am asking you once again to share this with me.
Okay, let me think on it.
Thank you. If you do, I can study it, I can learn it, and given the strange nature of it, I think perhaps I may even be able to expand on it.
Could you cure it? Expel it?
I do not know, because it is something entirely new, but I will not know until we find out.
Okay.
We do not even know if you doing this would give me all of the for lack of better term, detriments that you suffer. But as much as I enjoy my technology, this is a risk I'm willing to take. And that is the only way that I can have any idea of if I can do anything with it.
I'm trying to think of how much more Hex would hold it over you as an old man if all of your just technological prowess is just gone.
I imagine she would take great pleasure in this, and I am willing to suffer that as well.
Yeah, let me think on it.
Please do.
There were a few people, now that Lydia is in town, I thought might be helpful just to check in with. People who might have had experience with the Sabbat, or maybe people on the fence who we don't want jumping to the other side when Lydia pops up.
What did you have in mind?
For starters, there was Alima, mostly because she was most adamant about other cities and connecting. If other cities are having a Sabbat problem, we could coordinate or at least get some kind of information.
This is possible. Many times other Camarilla cities have left each city to their own devices, but this is also how we got in this position in the first place. So perhaps a new way of thinking, such as Alima's, could be beneficial.
Next, I had Georgina. As Scourge, I think she might want to be aware of what's festering right now.
Assuming she is not already, but I am not opposed. I think that it is good to fill in everything that we know. I've also, I've been curious about something that I wished to ask her. It may be overstepping, but you know me. I'll find out when I find out.
I would be careful, because not to say she can flip pretty quickly, but I'm not going to help you if she starts going to town on you.
I appreciate your honesty.
Gotcha. And that's a lot of people, so we'll see how far we can get in one night.
It's 2 people, but sure. Yeah, why not? We start there. If we have time for more, we have time for more.
Great.
So Alima or Georgina?
Let's do Alima first.
Okay. She may be the most readily available. And I'll
Okay.
take the new phone and I'm going to text Georgina, Alima rather, to say, Aaron and I were hoping for a moment of your time tonight, if you're available.
And you get back a message from Alima's hand servant that says Miss Sagar is currently busy. She will be available in 2 hours.
Where will we meet you in 2 hours?
And you receive a address for an office complex in Buckhead.
Okay. I will then follow up with Georgina. I'm literally just going to copy paste over, same thing. To Georgina.
You get back from Georgina playing Street Fighter. What's up?
Can Aaron and I meet up with you for a moment? I'll pay for the next round.
And you get back, who needs dead?
I'm gonna look for an emoji of the most ornate cross that I can find and send it.
Okay. And you get back lit with an address to an arcade.
Okay. Alima will be available in 2 hours. Georgina is available now, and I have promised that I would pay for Street Fighter.
Okay. That sounds great. Let's head over.
Yes. And I'll head to my car parked off to the side. Now that they know I have a car, I actually bring it to the house now, and we'll just go meet up with Georgina at the arcade.
Okay, Dex and Drive.
As per usual, 1 success.
Parallel parking's hard to find,
Mm-hmm.
especially in this area.
I'll just look for paid parking if I have to.
Yeah, you're able to find a paid parking lot. It's a couple blocks away, though.
No big deal.
All right. So you do park. You pay the obscenely high $15 night rate. And you head out towards the arcade, and you can hear it is an ungodly amount of sound. Just, it's music that there's no purpose in there being music because there's easily 30 arcade cabinets going at full blast. How anyone can hear in here is a miracle.
Before we go in, I'll say, what is the range on your effective technology?
It's pretty much touch.
Do not lean on any cabinets.
Can do.
Unless I am losing, in which case by all means
I was
please lean on
about
cabinets.
to ask if you need like a hand. I'll just look if you're losing.
Yeah. But like really losing, not like doing a little poorly. I could always come back.
Sure.
And I'll open the door for him.
Okay. And you guys head in, and there are rows of arcade cabinets forming little aisles, and at the far left side of the bar, or of the building is a bar, just a small one with some geeky themed drinks.
Gotcha.
And general tired bartender.
I'm just gonna look around for our Scourge, or rather a Street Fighter cabinet.
Given
Or
how
both.
crowded and dark it is, give me wits and awareness.
Sure. I'm not even gonna bother turning on heightened senses because that will just hurt. Four successes.
Okay. Thankfully, as you're kind of walking through, since these are set up in a row fashion, you're able to spot Street Fighter pretty easily. And there is Georgina wearing a pink crop top sweatshirt with the kind of e-girl suspender skirt, and her hair is pulled back with a ribbon tied around her hair, and she has little earrings of hot dogs.
Is she playing anybody or just solo?
She's playing solo.
Okay, I'll dig in, find something resembling a coin, and just put it on the, on the cabinet and just go, I've got next.
Not even looking, she just goes, yeah, you're gonna be waiting for a while.
Figured that we could play around like I promised.
Oh, shit, hi!
Hello?
Hi, 1 second. 1 second. And she's very hyper-focused on the game at this time.
I look around. Is there anything old-fashioned like skee ball?
There is no skee ball, there are some pinball machines.
Let's have lights on them.
Those would have lights on them.
That's okay.
In terms of general things you could probably do, not really.
That's fine by me.
And so after about 15 minutes, she finishes her round, and though she won and it's kicking into the next round, she just turns around and just throws her arms up and hugs you both
Oh,
real
hello.
tight. She goes, hey!
Hi there.
Shepherds, let's go get a drink.
Sounds great.
And
Sure.
she wanders off to the bar, and at the end of the bar, you do see Clarice just sitting there with a little Long Island iced tea with a little umbrella in it, just sitting very quietly to herself reading a book.
If she looks up from the book, which I doubt she will, I'll give a wave, but I'm not expecting it.
And so Georgina just walks up and flags down the bartender and says, hey, 3 of my fave. So, what's up? It's okay, it's loud as shit in here.
Oh.
You can say whatever you want.
That's great.
Apparently. Would you like to start or should I?
Sure. First off, hi.
Hi!
Yeah, haven't seen you since, I think, the election, and before that, DragonCon.
Yeah, whew. I have been busy. How do you guys deal with Cirrus? He has no idea what's going on.
Typically we don't.
Like, I try to send him TikTok links and he doesn't even respond. I don't think he likes me very much.
I don't think he has TikTok.
Oh, that would explain it. Yeah, that explains a lot of things. Okay.
Put it something like, I don't know, gun-themed. Send him that. That might get you on a few lists, but that might get his attention.
I would say
Okay.
he is probably the kind of, you give him job, he is down to do job.
There we go.
Yeah, he's been like that a lot. Alright.
Turn it into a buddy cop thing.
I'll try.
Have there been any jobs that went good, bad that you can talk about?
I mean, we kill him. That's good.
If they need to be killed, then yeah, I suppose
Yeah.
so. Sure.
We wanted to reach out because we recently found out there's more of a Sabbat problem in the city.
Yeah, they're real gross.
But this time they have a bishop.
Mm.
Declared bishop.
Yeah, Prince told me about that.
Yes. Did the prince tell you about the dozen or so followers that she had with her?
He told me about the ones he killed, and then he spent an uncomfortably long time talking about how hot she was.
That tracks.
Yeah.
That tracks with everything that we have been told, mostly by her.
That's all right. He thinks my hair's cute, so it's fine.
It is cute. But the dozen that he killed, at the best estimate, that was half of who she had. Because we saw a dozen more.
That explains it.
And at worst,
Because
there's more.
Prince told me that he was worried about you guys after you went to like an art gallery or something, and he was like really worried about you. He said like you guys like left, and it looked like Mel was upset. Is she alright, by the way?
I want to say yes, but I don't know the answer.
Okay. And the drinks get put on the counter, and she hands them to you, and she goes, "It's fine." And she sips hers. And when you look at it, it looks like it might be a dark lager beer, but it's the smell wafting off of it.
Gotcha.
It is clearly something different.
I will drink it as well then.
I will chug it fast.
It was a very interesting time at the exhibit for everybody. High tensions.
I don't like art galleries. Clarice loves them. I feel like I'm going to break everything in the building, so I don't like to go.
Do you often touch the art?
I keep learning the hard way you're not supposed to. But some of them look like you're supposed to touch them.
They typically have signs if you touch them.
I don't know. There was one time that they looked kind of like stuffed animals, and I tried to touch them, and then I was specifically told that was against the law, and I got in a lot of trouble, and I ran like really fast.
No, that's entirely fair. But no, yes, we left the exhibit because we had received an invitation to meet with the bishop.
I'm sorry. You want to run that by me one more time?
The bishop wanted to meet us after having a run-in with the prince.
So you killed her.
We were
Problem
not,
solved.
We were not in a position to do so. We thought we were in a public place and did not wish to violate the masquerade. We found out.
Yeah, I guess.
We found out at the end that the entire bar was full of her people.
Oh.
So, bad to worse.
Even more explains. Yeah, no, Prince had me follow you. Sorry.
It's fine.
Except I kind of got lost, and then when I tried to check security cameras for like the general area that you guys were in, probably about 2. Hey, Clarice, was it 2 or 3 square miles? And Clarice just like looks up from her book and goes, 3.
Hey, Clarice.
Hi. And she goes, okay, so 3 square miles of this area that I was told to look at, camera's dead. Nothing. Absolutely fuck all. So whoever she is, she's good. I kind of like her. Maybe she's hot. But yeah, I tried to look out for you guys, but there was like no cameras. So clearly she knows what she's doing. So I'm not really surprised that the bar had backup in it.
Yes, it is very much appreciated, though. As for whether or not she is hot, hard to say.
More sharp than anything.
You also may not see the same face on her twice, so...
Oh, fuck, she's a missy.
Yes, she is.
Oh, they're gross. Like, no offense if you got friends that are that, but no.
No friends.
Not a fan. Not a fan. I mean, like, I like cosplay. I'm not gonna lie. Would kind of like to be able to, like, really make this work.
Well, of course.
But, no. Gross. Very gross.
I imagine you could do interesting and wonderful things with it, but she chooses to do a variety of other things.
Yeah, I imagine. Also, that sounds even more disgusting when you phrase it like that. Ugh.
English is not first language.
Nah. Anyway.
But yes, could not kill her. because we thought we were in public, and then it turned out that we were surrounded. So
I forgive you for disappointing me.
it's
fine.
understandable.
Can you deputize people as scourges?
I have no clue. I imagine Cirrus does a lot of the killing, but I imagine if you killed someone you weren't supposed to, you could just say I did it and people will believe you.
Gotcha. It's good to know.
Possibly.
But like, don't do it a lot, or
No.
I don't want to. You know,
Are you
I'm
interested
pretty sure Clarice would be upset.
Are you interested in becoming a deputy?
No, just wanting to know like what flexibility there is before things start to kick off too bad. If we can nip some Sabbat buds.
Oh, bet. You know what? I don't know what your job is as a shepherd. Like, I believe you're supposed to bring all those people in, but like, if they're real bad Sabbat, just fucking off them.
Gotcha.
I won't say anything.
That did not go so well for us the first time, but given the scenario, we may have to see.
Oh, that's that thing that Cirrus keeps talking about.
Pardon?
He asked me a bunch of like weird Malkavian questions, and then like I finally just asked him, and he said like he like ate one, and like
He did, yes.
apparently he hears things sometimes,
What sort of things?
like commercial jingles, or I don't know. I have never done that, but like Tilly is real like serious about never doing that, so I imagine that sucks.
Wow, that is... If it were not so unfortunate, I would find it hilarious.
Sounds like it sucks, but like, you know, occasionally I just get the goldfish theme stuck up here, and you know what? I like to live as the snack that smiles back, so I figure it's a blessing.
Very fair.
How is it? Anytime I'm around, not to say Malkavians, just it just gets in my head, and it stays there for a few nights. Anything, commercials, jingles, something. It's like a radio frequency that just sends out.
That sounds about right.
That's a word for it.
I mean, that's kind of what it's like for me, so it makes that's like it for me all the time. Like, but like, so I guess like being around y'all would be the same. That's why I like this place. It's so fucking loud, I can't even hear my own thoughts.
Or
It's the
anybody else's for that
best.
matter.
No, not at all. It's the best.
Very fair. So this bishop had originally said that she was located out of, what was city again? Mableton? Mableton.
Ugh, that's way the fuck out.
I imagine she wanted to avoid the perimeter. But again,
Any sensible person does, honestly.
is moving freely enough within the city to bring a dozen foot soldiers with her. So,
That is a big car. Yep.
yes.
Or just turn one of them into a car.
I don't think
Oh,
it
that-
works quite like that.
That's gross. Can we not?
I don't think it works quite like that. I hope it doesn't work quite like that. I've never seen it work quite like that.
I'm not gonna lie. It would be a little cool, but it's still really gross.
It's got a sort of a GoBot feel to it, but
God, you're old.
New topic.
point being, this is a bit concerning, and we wanted to make sure that it was brought to your attention.
All right, so let me get the rundown. Bishop in town. She's also in Mableton. She's got like a fuck ton of baddies. They threatened you,
Postured.
or they just stood there.
Show of force.
I can't really do much about just standing.
Oh no, show of force, but again, Sabat.
Yeah, it's Sabat. I can't tell Cirrus. He's gonna burn the city down.
Six Flags.
I'll talk to Prince and see what he thinks. This is kind of a lot.
It's fair. Decision does not have to be made now, but it is something we wanted to make sure that you knew about.
I'll see what he thinks.
Yes.
I'll see what he thinks. Because I know that in general, and like, can you pinky promise that you won't repeat this, like both of you?
Absolutely.
Pinky promise?
Yeah, just if you have any cell phones or stuff on you, just take them off.
I'm good. I know you're a
Okay.
spooky boy.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so we've been told to leave Lydia alone for the time being, not because she's hot. He assured us of that. It's because we have a little bit of intel that she's picking up strays, kind of like how you guys do.
Mm-hmm.
And so if she's picking up strays, we can kind of coordinate with other Camarilla cities, and then maybe, fingers crossed, we can, like, wipe the Sabbat off the map.
This was...
We're, like, using her as bait.
The first part was something that Aaron was considering, actually, with the next person we are going to go speak to, so this is good to know.
Cool. Who are you going to talk to?
Lisa Nashal.
Oh, yeah. Good plan. She and Prince are, like, super keyed up on stuff. I really like her. The whole, like, servants thing, uncomfortable. Don't like it. But she's learned to meet me solo and alone, so, you know, she respects it.
Different cultures, but I completely understand where you're coming from, trust
Yeah,
me.
no, anyway.
Absolutely. But this is good to know that there is already this notion floated, so it is not a far walk to go to communicate.
Yeah, that's why we haven't killed her yet.
That's fair, but yeah, at least we have an idea of the plan.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure if Cirrus ever sees her again, he's gonna, like, real quick.
Assuming that she does not. But, yes.
Well, maybe she knows, like, some cool jingles.
For his sake, I hope not.
So, like... Clarice and I are going to get out of here in a little bit. We're going to go to, like, a late-night concert. It's super romantic.
Wonderful.
It's our anniversary.
Oh, happy anniversary. I apologize for intruding.
Oh, no. We come to the arcade every Thursday, so it's just, like, a part of it. She's going to read her book for a bit. I'm going to kick a bunch of ass in Street Fighter, probably win some money, and go buy her something nice on the way.
Wonderful.
Very
wonderful.
cute.
Yes, we will get out of your hair, but before I do, I had a question for you. Please do tell me if I'm overstepping with this question, but I was very curious.
I swear to God, if it's a lesbian question, I will punch you.
It is not a lesbian question.
Thank you.
Do not worry about that. The last time we saw you, before the election, you had interaction with Second Inquisition.
I killed them.
Yes. Have you encountered more of them since?
No, unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
I got carte blanche to kill them whenever I want.
Unfortunately. And you did so very well with the ability to push all of them at the same time.
Yeah.
It was very impressive.
Tilly doesn't like it.
I imagine.
You know, sometimes it's the little flair that helps. And that picture on Instagram, oh my God, the news took hold of it. And people were swarming their families. It was brilliant. I got the harpies in on it too. So yeah, news was swarming their families, trying to look into who were these poor people that just fell off the roof. And SI had the news crawling all up their asses, I'm sure.
I feel slightly bad for the families, but the rest of that is very, very good to know.
I mean, their family members were SI, so like, how big of a deal is it really?
If they were, then they were. But yes, all of these pieces come together on the notion of my ability to do more in this matter of the Sabbat and being more effective both as a shepherd and somebody to handle this.
I got a question.
Yes.
Because you're asking like a lot of me. She talked to you, but like why? What did she want?
As you said, she is picking up strays, and we are also picking up strays. She wanted to talk to the people picking up strays.
So she just like wants you to do the picking up strays for her?
She hoped.
Ugh, that's stupid. We're the Camarilla.
That's what I said.
Okay, like maybe I'm new to all this political shit, but she sounds dumb.
I feel like it was more of a get us in one place and then show a force deal. It was the whole,
Okay, whatever.
Yeah, it was power play. I am on the fence of whether or not I trust everything that she said, but regardless. The Second Inquisition is in possession of my old haven.
Ooh, yike.
And from what I have been able to tell, they have not taken anything from it. They have left it exactly where it is, and they seem.
Oh, that's weird. I bet you have witchy shit.
I do, and I would very much like it back. And they seem to only be patrolling it.
Huh. They probably think you'll come back eventually, or like one of us will come back.
They do, and this is where my question comes in, and where I ask if I say that if I'm overstepping, please do let me know.
Okay.
At some point, would I be able to make a request of the Scourge? And if I must ask the Prince, then I will be happy to do that. To use your services to facilitate the return of my items and the removal of this Second Inquisition.
So you want, let me get this straight, the Scourge of the Camarilla to be your personal bodyguard to go to your clubhouse.
I would like the Scourge of the Camarilla to allow a shepherd to retrieve tools for the job and some knowledge of the history of the Atlanta Kindred Society in the Second Inquisition possession.
Oh, you make it sound like a lot.
Yes.
Tell you what, ask Prince, and we'll see what he says.
Very well. I simply want
That
to
sounds
ask
like
you.
a him call.
Very well. I simply wanted to ask you first.
Yeah, I mean, I'm down to kill. But feel like that should be run by him.
Hierarchy and whatnot.
Yeah, you know.
Thank you very much for your time, Georgina.
Yeah, sure. I'm gonna go kick a little more ass. I think I got like 20 minutes until she finishes her book. So.
Well, then by all means, go kick ass, win money, and enjoy your concert.
Yeah, I'm keeping that token that you put.
By all means.
And she goes trotting off back to her arcade cabinet.
How long did that take?
That was easily about a half-hour conversation.
Okay, so we've got a bit more time then. Will? I think that went well.
I mean, we got more out of it than I thought we were going to.
We got a lot of information. We know that our next venture is going to be a lot easier than we thought it would be. And also, we have an hour and a half before said next venture is available. So, I do not know if there's anybody else that you would like to visit. We could always attempt to touch base with one of the Permagin, one of the closer ones like Falcon.
Okay.
If you think that maybe she might have knowledge, or we could...
No, I will say it did take you also 30 minutes to get here.
Okay, so an hour still.
Yeah, so you still have an hour.
Yeah. Statement still stands. Or we can simply head over to the area and just wait in car. It's only in Buckhead though, so that's not terribly far away.
Why don't we do this? We got a little bit of time to burn.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't had downtime to just, I don't know, patrol, explore the city. Can we just take some time and see what's going on?
Anton's just gonna like dig into his pouch and sort of like take inventory of what he has, like resource wise, and just go. Sure. Yes.
Okay. Not looking for trouble, just to...
Oh no, yes, but given the way that the last outing went, I like to be prepared for such things.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yes, no, I'm very fine with this. Where did you have in mind? Just around here, or?
Let's visit one of the places we picked up some of our earlier charges.
Little 5, Piedmont Park Botanical Garden area.
Botanical Garden.
Okay,
It's just jumping out for some reason.
sure.
Okay.
I'll take us back to our car and head over towards Piedmont Park Botanical Garden area, that side of town.
Okay. Which entrance are you going to? Are you going to the entrance that goes right to the Botanical Gardens, or just one of the generic parking entrances?
He's probably one of the generic parking entrances, since I think that area to the Botanical Gardens is closed at this hour, and yeah.
Okay. Dex and Drive.
2 successes.
Wonderful. You're able to navigate pretty easily. Ponce is a little more reasonable this time of night. There's not quite as many cars out. And you do park, and you are at Piedmont Park now.
Before we get out, how is teaching going?
It's fine. We have new student, another gangrel. Sort of par for course. Your clan is one of the most prevalent in city. She is not Camarilla yet, to my knowledge, but did not have to find her. She came of her own accord, or rather, she talked to me and she talked to Denise, and then she came of her own accord. But yeah, we now have people who are coming to the school of their own volition, as opposed to us having to recruit people into the school.
That's so much easier.
Yes.
It's not like we're putting flyers around the city, but just to have that known presence. Either they pick it up at a Waffle House or something, but
Well,
just to know that it's...
her experience at Waffle Houses have not gone quite so well, but yes.
Oh.
And not everybody is familiar with the customs.
Was Mel involved?
Not to my knowledge, and that is very fortunate for all involved
Mm-hmm.
in this instance.
Mm-hmm.
Though if Mel had been involved, I imagine that she would have come to the school much earlier.
It's kind of both ways. I mean, if Mel gets involved, stuff happens, and judgment happens. But then again, there's a lot of Waffle Houses to keep track of.
Yes, indeed.
I can't imagine, again, how Denise did it.
I imagine that she had many a sleepless night, to coin the phrase. On the note of teaching, I have another question for you that is much less severe than the one I asked earlier.
Sure.
Assuming that you are not hearkening back for the police life between your deputizing question and wanting to go out on patrol, I have to ask about it, but what are your thoughts on working with the school?
Oh, you picked up on both of those very, very easily. I got to work better at that. No.
Of all the people that are involved in this coterie that are meeting new arrivals, you're the only one that has actually gone through the process, and it has been a great benefit because it has actually persuaded quite a few people that it is worth the time. You have the experience, you have experienced the true state of Atlanta, and frankly, I'm going a bit above and beyond with the teaching, as it were. I imagine Elijah did not go into quite the detail that I did. It is, at its core, it's a finishing school. It's to learn how to exist in this city, and you know how to exist in this city because you did it. I think if newcomers were going to learn that from anybody, you would be one of the better people to learn it from.
Oh. I never thought of it like that.
Well, another thing that you don't have to give me an answer on immediately, but I've been thinking about it, especially with you coming by the school more to hang out, that maybe it would be worthwhile that you came by there not just to hang out.
I mean, I think the only thing getting abrasive is just the grandness of the school. And if I had a little corner to not make my own, but get more comfortable in, not be as flourished.
I have a small office that I have made my own there. I imagine you could have quite the same.
Okay. Maybe we start as guest lecturing and work from there.
I'll bring you by sometime. Maybe you can meet the student that I'm talking about.
Sweet.
And we'll see how it goes, and then talk to Olivia, continue the process, and yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Figure every other shepherd is doing something for somebody in this city. There's no reason that you need to just be sitting around, especially when you have so much to offer.
True. I am jobless at the moment. It was always nice at night to work, even though I was just doing lab stuff or crime scenes, not arresting people like they do in the TV shows. But it was nice to just have something to focus on.
Trust me, I know. And perhaps in 30, 40 years you can get back to it. But for now, we are where we are.
I never thought of that. Like, time. You just pause, let everyone who knew about Aaron die, or move on, and just pick things back a little differently, but pick things back up.
Welcome to the life of an immortal.
Huh.
Granted that you play your cards right in the process.
Sweet.
Shall we patrol, deputy?
Yeah, let's just take a look around.
Okay, and so you're gonna walk around Piedmont Park?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Or just kind of the general vicinity around Piedmont?
Piedmont Park, arcing towards the botanical gardens.
Okay.
It's dark enough. I'm going to click on Oblivion Sight
Okay.
to be aware.
I'll just do heightened senses.
There are the scant ghosts here and there, nothing too distressing. A lot of them are very faded and flickering, not very strong. It just seems like because this is an older part of Atlanta, what you can see and what has continued to hang on is very weak.
Wow. Just gonna look over at him with the blacked out eyes and just go, it's useful, yeah?
It's very handy. Though there's no filter, so sometimes you see more than you want to.
I imagine. I have the ability to see things that are not there, but your skill in this matter has surpassed mine instantaneously with this.
I can't do anything about it, though.
What do you mean?
Like, I know our job is to find lost childer and bring them into the fold, but what do you do when you see everywhere you go one thing just there and sometimes hurting or just not in a happy place?
You cannot communicate with them at all.
If they're open to it, sure. Sometimes it's best just to leave them alone, but I can't. No.
I do not know the answer to this, but this is something else that I can find out.
Okay. And just keep looking around the park.
Okay, if you want to both give me wits and awareness.
Sure.
Let's go ahead and add in the heightened senses dice.
3.
3.
6.
6. There's a few people out, a couple jogging, just doing late night jogs, clearly liking that it's colder out. A couple people late night walking their dogs. You hear music coming from a house or two, little house parties happening. Some night guards are walking through Piedmont and through the botanical gardens. But overall, it's very peaceful. And Anton, you actually notice, looking out into Piedmont Park, there are 2 Nosferatu sitting very close, almost lovingly, together in the park, just talking.
It's cute. Apart from the 2 Nosferatu, anybody running around that is dressed like it's not 30 degrees outside, a la me?
Nope.
Okay. So just a couple of Nosferatu enjoying their evening.
And as one couple walks by you, they do see your outfit and just go, fucking northerners, and keep walking.
At least I'm not wearing shorts.
You know, maybe that explains why a lot of college guys are always wearing shorts in the middle of winter. I just never knew they were Kindred.
I don't think they're all Kindred, but I imagine that there's a very good cover to work with at this
That
point.
works so well. Okay. And
They
just make our way back to the car.
They just play it off like they're tough guys, but we know the truth.
All right. And as you're walking, Anton, your phone buzzes.
Take a look at it.
It is a message from O'Donnell. Do you wish to read it?
Yeah.
It says, "They got him. I only have an approximate location, but here you go." And it is a link to a map with an area circled around Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
I'll be talking while I'm making a group, like a mass message, and I'm sending it to pretty much hitting the contacts in my phone. It's like every Primogen and Georgina and the Prince and
The biggest group chat you can make.
everything. And I'm just forwarding this information, and all the shepherds are on it too, including Cirrus. And a subject line on it is Kindred was taken, tracked to potential new SI facility. Send. With the location that was given.
Okay. And as you're walking, your phone starts blowing up. Just buzz, buzz, buzz,
Yep.
buzz,
I'm
buzz,
just reading it.
buzz, buzz,
I'm reading it while I'm
buzz, buzz.
talking. And that is why I broke my phone earlier, because some people do not realize that you should not text somebody right before you're about to be taken. another kindred got into a tainted bag. And he came to me for help. And I did not have much for him, but it occurred to me that we could possibly find out at least where they are located. So I gave him something that another Tremir's made, and assuming that it wound up where it's supposed to wind up, that is where they are based out of at the moment.
So sorry, this going through that abduction was a little unsettling. But you
Let him be taken.
used him?
If it makes you feel better, he asked me to use him. But point blank, I could not save him in the same way that I could not save you from being taken. That I could not save myself from being taken. I did not realize that they'd be taking him now. I thought it might be in the morning. And they did not even know where Thomasina and I lived prior to seeing us. But they found it out pretty fucking quick.
Yeah, that's because I showed up to meet you.
And then I opened the door, and then I called Thomasina.
Yeah.
So when another kindred comes to me having experienced the exact same thing that you did, we were lucky that Cirrus found his way to the facility so that we could even know where to find you when they took you. He happened there by chance, not even related to you being there. That's the only way that we knew. This is the only way that we know now.
Do we go to him now? Do we get a party together?
I have told everybody.
Okay.
I've told literally everybody. So
Your phone is still buzzing.
yeah, and I've told literally everybody. So I can only hope that fucking somebody does it. And if they don't, we'll have to figure it out from there. But I don't know about you, but I don't particularly want to go back there. Not with just the two of us.
Oh, no.
And Anton, your phone abruptly stops buzzing.
That's made me a bit more suspicious. I'm going to check it.
You see a very long list of shit, fuck, SI, goddammit, SI, just everyone cussing, screaming. And then the last message is a message from Alpha that says, fucking stop, I will handle this.
And there we are.
Oh, okay. Okay. Sorry.
Now everybody is in the know. And the prince is handling it.
Yeah. I gotta remember our job is specific. And he's not part of our coterie, so there are other people in Atlanta, thankfully, to handle stuff like this.
He is not part of our coterie. He is part of my clan. But as I said before, I could not stop you from being taken, and I needed everybody to get you out. And even then, quite frankly, we got out at the grace of Alejandro. So I don't even know if he... I'm assuming Alejandro does not have a room there anymore if you went to go visit him. But I don't want to go back in there right now. I would rather the city determine what to do about this. And I simply pray that they release him when they are done with him.
All right.
And that he survives whatever the fuck they're about to go through.
Aaron, your phone buzzes.
I check it.
It is from Denise. And it just says, are you okay?
Yes. I'm with a friend.
And you'll get back, okay, take care of yourself. I know this is rough.
Okay. Let's go see Alima.
It should be about time, yeah.
I think by the time we get there...
She'll have questions for us and we'll have questions for her, yeah?
Yes.
And then we will see where we go. We will see where we go next, and perhaps we figure out, as I asked earlier, what we can do about this.
Sounds great.
All right, and so are you heading to Alima now?
Heading to the card and then heading to Alima.
Okay, make me your ducks and drive.
1 success. A little distracted from all the texting.
Yeah. A side group chat has now been opened of just Primogen and Shepherds, and it's hard to use your GPS for where you're needing to go because right where the instructions are at the top, banners keep dropping down on your phone of new messages and new messages and new messages.
And while I'm trying to drive, I will do the thing I hate to do, and I will turn the volume on to the GPS, even though it will interrupt my music, just so it tells me where to go. Just,
Okay. And so, Aaron, you start hearing driving directions in Russian coming from Anton's phone.
It's surprisingly accurate with the pronunciations, but still off-putting.
It helps me stay fresh on it. I spoke it most of my life, but I don't speak it so much here, so...
Yeah, if you don't practice it, it kind of dissipates.
It always stays, but you retain less and less, so it's good to have something that goes. But as you can tell, I mute the fucking thing most of the time anyway.
And as that's all occurring and happening, Aaron, your phone buzzes at the same time as a banner message drops down for you. Anton, can you make me composure resolve to be driving and not looking at your phone?
So don't ask me to do that roll while I'm driving. I think 3 successes.
Okay, so you're able to ignore the banner message, but
I'll take a look at it.
it is from Alpha, and
Okay.
it is only to the Shepherds. And the message that you get is, be careful, don't go in right now. I will find him, and then I will send you further word.
Okay, I will relay that to Anton. Okay.
Very good.
Yeah, we've got leeway to think about something else for a while.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Between the texts, which I have to start over every time I get a new text, I'd like to text Alejandro
Okay.
and say if he is available tonight to talk in person.
Okay. After a few minutes of driving, you do get a response that says front doors open.
Okay.
And I think that is a good spot for us to take a quick break. We're going to grab some water, stretch our legs a little bit, and we'll be right back with you guys in just a few minutes. welcome back. So, where is it you all are heading to now?
Alima.
All right. And so you pull up to Alima's office building,
Mm-hmm.
and her servant that you met last time
Mhm.
is waiting out front for you.
Let's park and get out. And
Good evening.
good
Come
to
on
see
in, please.
Good to see you again.
Mm-hmm. And he leads you guys in. He stops, and there is a spot for you to take off your shoes before you enter her office.
Yes, right. I'll, step them off and.
Okay.
Yes, that's fine. Do I need to garb differently like we did last time?
No, that was a special occasion.
Gotcha.
This is her place of business, I imagine, or one of them.
And so you go in, and Alima is there. She's in a beautiful blue silk suit with kind of a gold patterning on it, similar to the dress that she had when you guys first met her. It's very much a suit that still speaks to her culture. And she just stands up. Hello.
Well, let me stand the shawl.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you
Again?
for seeing us so quickly.
Yes.
Yes. What can I do for you?
Well, it does not have anything to do with the text message I sent out, so there's that.
Good.
But
Alpha's not pleased.
I imagine, but I wanted to make sure the information got to all relevant parties the moment that I found out.
Yes, the relevant party in that case was Alpha. But
Last
thank
time,
you.
Last time it was the Primogen, so
That was when we had a puppet prince.
covering all bases.
We wanted to meet with you more in regards to the Sabbat.
Ah. Alpha has been worried
Yes.
about them.
We met with Georgina earlier tonight.
Oh, good. How is she?
Quite well. It is her anniversary tonight.
Yes, that's why I have not contacted her.
Yes, she did not inform us of this, so there we were. But we caught them before the anniversary
Good.
celebration.
Good.
She informed us that the reason that Aaron suggested meeting with you was actually already crossing her mind, which is very fortunate.
And what is that?
It was a connectivity of different cities in regards to response.
So you want a multi-city-wide task force for this Sabbat?
She had mentioned that the plan was to reach out with other cities as Bishop Lydia continues to grow her force and possibly quash the threat in one go.
Since we are speaking of Georgina, I'm going to imagine that she already told you of Alpha's plan.
That is what she told us, at least.
But that's not your plan, I'm guessing.
As I said, it is Alpha's plan. My plan is a little more nuanced, though he and I do see eye to eye on a great many things of it. Lydia wants to seemingly grow her own congregation. What that means is that she is picking up every single Sabbat she can find and having them go out and find even more. She's created her very own pyramid scheme of zealots.
Well, we saw at least 12 of them in one go, so
Probably far more.
I imagine so. I figured it was generous to assume that we saw half of what she had.
From mine and Alpha's estimates, the amount of Sabbat that are currently still residing here in the United States is probably far less than even the number of anarchs.
I should hope so, given how the Inquisition responded.
Considerably less. As of right now, Lydia is trying to serve as a beacon for any of them that do not have established pacts.
So you think that perhaps interconnecting this with other cities may draw eyes?
Exactly. And when we draw eyes, we draw attention, and when we draw attention, we draw the ability to strike harder than if we just kill one overexcitable bishop.
This is true.
I'm sure she's well aware that we would only let her survive if we had a reason for it. But that does not mean that we still cannot do exactly what she thinks we're doing. You will learn at this level of kindred life, young one, that the politics becomes a game where we both assume we are playing chess, we both assume the other already knows our moves. It's just who gets to checkmate fastest.
How aware are you of our encounter with Bishop Lydia?
I am aware from Georgina that you were invited to meet with her, and then suspiciously, the second that you left the art museum, almost exactly to the second that the last person's footsteps went out the door, every single camera in a 3-mile radius of a section of the city went out.
That is what we were told as well.
The cameras did not come back until the morning.
It is quite troubling.
So we could attempt to check every camera around that radius, but I'm sure you're aware of what kind of a wild goose chase that is.
Especially given that you don't know the face of what you're looking for.
Mm-hmm. My part of the plan is for you to keep doing exactly what you're doing. And should any of these lost childer you pick up give you suspicions of Sabat, be friendly. Bring them home. Because that in itself is bait.
Coincidentally, we have already done just that.
Really? Who?
A couple of students that I was suspicious of. There's no confirmation, but Olivia has been keeping an eye.
To be fair, any solo kindred that you find should be that level of suspicious to you.
Both.
2. What makes you think they're Sabat?
They were told to wait for us, which...
Word has traveled fast of your exploits.
And yet nobody has been told to wait for us, ever.
You're going to meet a first one every time.
Perhaps.
Do not consider me making excuses. I am merely...
questioning the process.
If I must agree with my prince, we cannot swing axes on questionable necks.
That is why I have not swung an axe.
But you are putting the axe in the hand of the executioner. If you are considering these two Sabat with no solid evidence.
That is why I agreed with Miss Grace's assessment to leave them be and let them be monitored.
Because if you are to suspect every lost childer, then your job as a shepherd is null and void.
Exactly. Again, why I have not turned names over to the scourges and have simply let them be students.
As long as we are in agreement.
As I have told many people, I am trying to do better.
I am tossing these thoughts away. When you have solid evidence of any Sabat, please inform me.
Well,
Any that you pick up.
if you know anybody that can pull memories out, we have the faces of about a dozen of them that we saw.
I can see what is possible. I might have to call someone in from out of town.
Talk to us, talk to Melisande, Thomasina.
Everyone was in this meeting. What did she request of you?
That we continue to do our job. And let her do her job. And nary the two shall meet.
I can admire such a play.
She seemed to think that it was a matter of free will and choice, that we let the ones who wanted to be Sabat continue to be Sabat.
Of course, a Sabat would talk about free will and choice. It's why the Anarchs are also full of shit. The tower is how we stay safe.
And she wanted to have free passage to conduct her mortal work as needed. But then, of course,
Oh, yes, her silly little art museum job.
But then, of course, she brings a dozen of her foot soldiers in with her. So, that feels a bit null and void to me as a stance.
To be honest, I can't really blame her. She came into a city that she knows that she is not wanted in. She met with agents of the inner court, where she knows that she is not wanted. One bishop cannot fight for Kindred, and also one bishop cannot fight for Kindred in a way that will not immediately draw our attention.
The latter I agree with. How familiar are you with Bishop Lydia?
More than I wish to be.
You know how dangerous she can be.
I know that for any Sabbat that we are going to use as bait, that Lydia is the best one we can use. Because with Lydia, we will get the Sabbat and the Second Inquisition. I've done my own research.
How does that work out?
There is far more to her that I need to confirm. And when I confirm it, we will have it. And I will make sure that you all are the first to know,
Very fair.
as I do not trust Cirrus or Georgina with that information.
Do you wish to share theories?
No.
Backing up a little bit, how did Dot Matrix manage to let slip through her grasp a whole 3-mile block of Atlanta from the grid?
That has also been noted.
Okay.
Dot Matrix has been unusually private lately, taking meetings that she does not inform anyone of, having guests that she does not inform anyone of. One guest I know, because we deal in business with him. But I've been told that there are people coming and going that Dot does not introduce. They do not appear to be Nosferatu, and then her door stays locked. Granted, Dot is far more intelligent than she would appear.
It is saying quite a bit, I might add.
So I believe if people have been seen coming and going, then they are people that she does not mind being seen coming and going, and therefore they are likely no threats. But all court positions must be monitored appropriately.
Very fair.
It might be some way of sticking it to Alpha in some small means of not following all the protocol.
Perhaps I know that she has voiced some disapproval at his lack of tact. So perhaps allowing cameras to go offline for however long, she probably thought it'd be funny.
Next time, I'd just prefer that I wasn't in that radius when it happened. But that might be asking a bit.
I can assure you that requires more care from Dot than she is capable of. No offense.
None
Is there
taken.
anything else you need from me?
No, it appears that we are quite on the same page.
Mm-hmm.
I would add, though, that a minor modification to your assessment of the bishop.
Yes.
Were you in the city during the early 2000s?
Yes.
I do not know how much of her clan you have seen, but I have seen some extremely horrible renditions from them, and I do believe that simply one of them could do just fine against 4 of us.
I assure you, it's entirely a political game, not an actual weight and measure.
I hope it stays that way. I truly do.
As do we all.
Thank you very much, Miss Seneschal.
You're very welcome.
I'll stand and give, the slightest of bows and exit.
Okay.
I grab my shoes and head out.
Yep.
Okay. And where are you heading now?
Just to the car at this point.
Okay.
Every time we meet with her, it's just... She lays it out so plainly, but it just doesn't taste right.
As she said very plainly, it's because it's political.
Mm.
It's always political. And chess involves many pieces and moving them exactly the way that you want them to move. You were very right to ask the question of how did dot matrix allow for those cameras to go out. I was not going to ask it because we were in dot's territory when the cameras went out. I could very well believe the notion that she may have simply thought it was funny, but I would believe it anywhere else in the city except for her domain. I mean, not her core domain, but domain owned by her.
Mm.
That bothers me. That implies either more skill and ability from the Sabbat than we expected, or a worse option.
It's... Dot's complicated. She's got a very interesting background. But her... I don't know. We saw her that night, and she was fine. She was a little giddy. And to let something like that slip through was not like her.
Agreed. It is very easy to assume that it could have simply been that she was not present in that area and thus not able to handle it because she was at the art museum, making sure that we all saw her at the art museum and not anywhere near that area where the cameras went out.
It's always good to have an alibi.
As I said, there are many things that I'm uncomfortable with and many things that I would like to address and be able to fix.
Speaking of things that are uncomfortable, I thought more about your first question.
Yes.
If we do this, just some ground rules. I'm not expecting an overnight fix or cure, but answers more than anything would be nice. The first ground rule would be, can we use, when it comes to transference, you use a medium like you did with Jackson at the Waffle House. Some kind of cup, no direct feeding.
Not to learn from you, I cannot. If I'm feeding from you in general, then yes, but as I explained to Jackson, the same way that the blood bond dissipates from the median, the rest of what we have dissipates as well. I cannot learn that way. Nobody can.
You can't just study it in a beaker or something?
I very much wish that I could. Perhaps when we get, perhaps when the prince gets my friend back from where he is, he may know more about this, but to the extent of Tremere knowledge, no.
Okay.
It loses something, much as how they say that blood, turns red once it hits oxygen. It means that something's there's a chemical reaction that changes the blood fundamentally. It's the same thing.
Okay. The reason I'm hesitant is because, well, one, I don't see it as an infection, but I definitely don't want to spread something I don't understand. And you kind of laughed off not being privy to technology if things go sideways, but it is more than that. There's this pit in your stomach that you're not seen, maybe it's the reflection, but you just don't, you feel more inclined to make yourself there, visible, present, persist. When we were interrogating one of the clones, I was fine with having Jackson dig his claws in if I thought I would get one or two helpful sentences and just walking away. I don't think that would have been me before this decisive, this just separated. I don't want to see that mannerism spread to anyone, especially someone who is more precise or perfectionist.
Wouldn't you like to know whether or not this stops with you?
Yes. But then again, if right now I know the answer, it stops with me because I haven't spread it.
It stops with you until the unthinkable happens and you are attacked. We are in a situation and somebody feeds off of you without your permission. And then you find out for certain in that moment. Because this is the way that things can be, as you saw with Catherine. These things can happen. So if you are going to learn anything about what you are dealing with, wouldn't you like to, at bare minimum, if I can find no other answers for you, wouldn't you like to know whether or not this stops with you?
Yes. You put it out very, not to say it's like Alima, but very plainly. And I appreciate the thought, the concern.
I met you when you came to me seeking answers to help you. And while I will admit that this will benefit me more than our previous arrangement did, I promise you answers, and I will deliver on them, and I will continue to work to deliver on them. I will simply also use them to do what I must.
Okay. If you have to feed from me, we'll just need to take precautions.
After this time, as far as I'm aware, unless the way in which you were given this ability is made you more complicated. After this time, should I need to feed on you, a vessel is fine. But in this moment, to be able to learn from you what I need, there is only this. The same way that I could not teach you anything of mine, should you want.
Okay.
Which I'm not opposed to, should you require. Should it make you feel better?
You were one of the first people in the city that didn't really keep track of boons and favors. You helped me with information, I gave you some blood packs, it started there, and then it turned into a friendship. So I trust what you would do with the blood to help me. I do want to be clear that I don't like people feeding from me.
I understand. That is why I do not ask this question lightly.
Okay.
Aaron, your phone buzzes.
And I'll check it.
It is a text message from the contact that you have saved as the winking tongue out face emoji. And it just says, I hear tonight's family game night.
There's one more contact I think we should hit tonight, and maybe they can help settle me straight. Someone who might be on the fence with the Sabbat, and that is Alejandro. Would you be okay with going to one of his houses, not burning it down right away, but getting some answers.
Yes, but you say that this might help you settle. You wish to tell him of this?
No. I haven't talked to him directly in a while. Maybe some things will shed light on the situation, the context, but this exchange would be confidential and private, especially if word gets out that people other than the SI are doing La Sombra fiddling, then I wouldn't want that to spread.
Very fair. I will not lie, there's a part of me that wishes that we concluded this before we went to him, but if it makes you feel more comfortable, then yes.
Okay.
But if you do wish to do this, I simply ask that we complete this tonight, because I have already begun my work, and I know that the more that I can learn this, the more I can do.
Okay. Yes. If we get answers from Alejandro about not blood related, just Sabbat related. If this one's well, and we make it out in one piece, and I want to continue, then let's do this tonight. The sooner, the better.
Okay. Then
And,
tell me where we are going.
I will share the last address that I went to with Alejandro.
Okay.
Before we head down the road, I'll text back to Winky Face if this is a good address for tonight.
And you get back, yep.
Okay. Yes, let's head here. Last time I mentioned there may be more La Sombra, and it seems like there might be at least one more tonight. The woman I briefly described.
Curiouser and curiouser. All right. I will drive us over to the address that has been provided to me.
Okay, give me Dex and Drive.
2 successes.
It's a pretty easy drive over there. It's suburban.
Mm-hmm.
And you eventually pull up to a very loud mansion. The mansion itself has some lights on upstairs, some lights kind of in the middle of the foyer, but you can hear the bass
Loud,
of
the
music.
auditory type.
Yes.
Okay.
I was thinking visual.
Yeah,
or
no,
both.
you can feel bass coming from the house.
Oh,
And you pull up, and the house is there.
it was much less active last time I was here.
You say this is the house of Alejandro Solina Foto. This with the
Maybe he found,
a sense of humor?
I was going to say, like a long, grippy pole to turn up the volume or something.
Let's be fair, he already had a sense of humor. Maybe he needed the extender hand. I'll walk up to the door with Aaron.
Okay. And so the sound is very loud. It's Anton, actually, since you are up on pop culture,
Sure.
please make me wits and awareness.
Sure. Heightened senses roll wouldn't help here with knowing pop culture, plus it would hurt my ears, so. 5 successes.
It is definitely the song Oops by Young Gravy. And it is pounding through the house.
I ask you again, you are absolutely certain, without a, pardon the pun, a shadow of a doubt, that this is the house that belongs to the La Sombra Alejandro Solina Foto.
And guest. So maybe this is the guest who is so...
He must really like this fucking guest.
I don't know how La Sombra like each other. From what he described, he was more of a isolated person. He might not even be... Well, he said he was here tonight. I don't know. I will actually text Winky Face here.
And you get back, come on in.
Okay. We are free to enter. And I'll reach for the door.
I'll stop and, with my gloved hand, reach for the door and open the door. Just Tremere habits.
All right. And so you open the door, and in that foyer area that's straight from the door where you sat with Alejandro, you can see he is sitting there struggling with a book. And you hear a female voice from upstairs singing along with the music. as a vacuum cleaner is running. And Alejandro is just... He hasn't even noticed that you've entered due to the volume of the music, but he is still trying his best to get through his book.
I'm gonna get as close to where he's sitting as possible. Not like up on him, but I want to see how close I can get to him before he notices.
So as you walk in, there is the front foyer area with a small table in the middle, and it leads to a second ancillary room where there are 2 sets of couches and a fireplace in the middle and a small coffee table, and it's on one of those couches where Alejandro is sitting.
Then until he notices me, I'm literally just gonna go and I'm going to sit on the other couch.
Okay.
I will approach as well, and actually, I'm going to look up at the person and try to just wave to get their attention.
Are they visible?
So upstairs, you see a young woman in a black kind of knee-length dress, almost like a slip dress. And she has long hair, and she is too busy singing along, dancing along the walkway upstairs, vacuuming.
Okay.
Is this person visible from where I'm sitting?
Yes.
Okay. How old does this person look?
She looks to be maybe in her mid-20s.
Mid-20s, like doing chores, singing along to modern music, and wearing all black?
Mm-hmm.
You keep interesting company.
And Alejandro startles real quick and goes, "Oh, hello." And he sets the book down and goes, "Oh, you know, they say kids these days." Oh, Aaron, how have you been?
Is this like a cloak or something? Are you having music so loud that the SI can't hear you, like a
No,
spouse?
I assure you, it is entirely her choice.
It'd have to be.
Oh.
You're more of a classical music type, if I recall.
She said she prefers to clean. She thinks that it clears her mind, so I let her play whatever music she would like.
And plus, you got somebody to clean.
She likes it. I was fine with calling a service, but she prefers it. She said it is something to do with Marie Kondo.
Is everything okay on your end? Any new disturbances in the area?
Disturbances, no. I have kept to myself.
Well, I'll point at the stairs.
She does what she does. But I have not gone out. I have not participated in where you found me, if that is the question that both of you are getting at.
Well, that location does not exist anymore, so...
No, it does not.
Well,
But I am keeping to myself, given the nature of the attitudes at the election. I had no desire to properly interact with the tower for some time.
it's understandable. Though, from how the rumor spread, the prince said that proving yourself to the tower would give you a better chance of involvement in the tower, yes?
And I do that by whenever they request of me information, I happily provide it.
Do you know?
I just simply choose to not leave my house.
Providing information when requested, not participating in activities that harm kindred.
Does this satisfy you that I am participating in society as you see fit?
I will say I did not expect it.
I apologize for the music.
I like this song.
I apologize for the music, Aaron.
It's a little loud. I have to ask, is she a childer of yours?
Can't you tell?
Yes. This is my child, Sybil.
Sybil, okay.
She is younger than you.
Sure.
but she has an affinity for you.
Does she now?
She says that she likes having a big brother.
You do not have siblings, Aaron, growing up?
I had a bunch of siblings, kind
Oh.
of in the middle there.
No offense to you, Alejandro, but would you expect anybody other than his own child to get away with this in the house?
It's something about siblings that just know how to get under your skin. I should have picked up on it sooner.
I imagine she has probably sent you more than a few text messages to antagonize you.
As all siblings would, wouldn't they?
Mm-hmm.
You seemed, as it was put, like quite the solitary type. I am surprised at this.
Well, there is something about watching your home explode into flames that can really give someone a new perspective on life, don't you think?
This is very true. I do hope you were able to get your record player out at least.
Unfortunately not. Though thanks to the local antique markets, I was able to find my own.
Very good.
I allow Sybil to play what she wishes when she cleans. I play what I wish the rest of the time.
Gotcha.
I figure that is a fair compromise for a child's demanding.
Compromise is the foundation of every good relationship.
We had a few questions for you tonight.
Yes.
One that actually popped up to me, I'm curious about, is have you been audited yet?
Audited. No. I believe I do not qualify,
Okay.
as
You-
I was informed.
Do not qualify because you are not part of the tower, or?
As the Camarilla does not consider me part of the tower,
Gotcha.
I am not to be audited. I offered Sybil as well. They feel that she is too young to have a valid opinion for auditing.
It's interesting. I thought that your clan was making its way into the tower around the country.
Yes, it appears that the council has a different opinion of me. They do not feel that my affiliations make me a valid member of the tower. To which I agree with them, but I still offer for them to come to me at any time with any questions they may have.
I will say, based on experience of audit, if they don't ask you any questions, they do not have to hear or record the answers that you might give them. So there's that for you as well.
Perhaps. I think you find me a lot more sneaky than I actually am.
You? No.
Well, sarcasm sits very well with you.
Thank you.
Another question we had was, there's been some Sabbat activity in the city.
Really?
Yes.
We wanted to know about
Unfortunate.
your exposure with the Sabbat before, and not to be a recruitment effort, but to see how things would shake out if Sabbat was to become more of a problem than it is now.
I imagine all of us of a certain age have some relationship with the Sabbat.
Yes, but when you recounted your tale to us, it seemed that you were more occupied with the Inquisition during the time that most of us were occupied with the Sabbat, so...
Well, yes, but the Sabbat did not show up only on the final nights.
True, very
And
true.
Sabbat did not stop existing after the final nights. I've
And-
had my experience, though my experiences are more along the lines of individual. You know, everyone has their one asshole friend who has some political views that maybe we would rather they stop saying in public. I knew a couple of such types. None that I would consider a Sabbat pack. None that I would consider notable members, but everybody has a chance to be radicalized, and sometimes we hope that they turn out better, and sometimes we are disappointed when they don't.
More often than not, unfortunately. Though I assume that, based on your individual isolation preference, that you were always more of an independent as opposed to alignment.
I prefer independent, but again, sometimes solitude can be born of hurt,
Understandable.
and sometimes minds cannot be changed.
Understandable.
And so we hold on to the good that we can, and we attempt to expel the bad.
So, on that note, your opinion of the Sabbat would not give you any interest in what they are doing in the city.
None at all. I would only hope, personally. God, she's going to loop that song all night. I would only hope that if you are asking me about this Sabbat, that means that there is a Sabbat problem. Do me a favor and remember, Sabbat are made. Sabbat are not born. Not truly, not like shovelheads. Sabbat are made, and many Sabbat are made because something about them was in pain. And you need to remember that pain is what keeps us so close to humanity to still feel things the way we felt many years ago, some more so than others. But remember that the Sabbat are the way that they are because at some point they needed it. And at some point they did not get the thing that they needed to keep them out of it.
And somebody with a better thing to offer showed up and offered it to them, offered them a way to get what they needed.
As all radicalization happens.
Let's look up at Sybil, see if she knocks something over with the...
Yeah, and you see that she's knocked over a metal end table, but she's too into it. She's already picking it back up and putting the plant back on it.
Very understandable.
I do not ask you to consider them innocent. God knows none of them are. But remember that at one point, somebody loved them, and somebody did not love them enough.
Very fair. Does this satisfy your curiosity?
Yeah, it does. I thank you for your time.
Thank you very much for your time. And
Is there anything else I can assist with?
Could you make an introduction between me and Sybil?
Yes, of course. Sybil! Sybil, get down here. You just hear the vacuum shut off, music shuts off, and she comes traipsing down the stairs and looks to the both of you and is like,
Yes.
"Hey,
Hi.
what's up?
So, my name is Aaron.
Hi, I'm Sybil."
There we go. I'll shake their
Nice.
hand. How is your night? This is going bad already.
You're real awkward. Do you know that?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, it's going good. I hear you're my big brother, but I hear you're like step big brother.
Sure.
half brother.
Half brother. Yeah.
There when your brother when you want me to. That's better.
Cool. Yeah, Pop says you're a gangrel.
Yes.
Those are the dog ones, right?
Yes.
Okay.
How long have you been in Atlanta?
Oh, I was born here.
Oh.
How long have you been in Atlanta?
Oh gosh. Dad, how long's it been? You see Alejandro already back to his book now that there's silence. Alejandro's like 4 months.
4 months.
And she goes, yeah, so about 4 months. Still figuring it out. Real cool to have a brother as far as I understand. Yeah, so it's been real fun to fuck with you though.
I can now update your name in my phone. I'll show the flip phone.
Oh, you got a cool phone.
Cool phone.
Yeah, no, I don't have one.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry.
fucking carrier pigeon shit I gotta deal with.
Perks of being a half brother.
Makes sense. Makes sense. I know I can talk to you in the book, though. He showed me how to use that.
The book, yes.
Can I add context in my book?
As far as he kind of explained it, I think you just, like, think about me when you write it, and then, like, the little shadow person that lives in your book knows to give me the message.
Shadow person.
Technically. I don't know. Is that rude to say that a shadow's not a person? I don't know. That sounds kind of... Sounds insensitive.
From what I can tell with shadows, they really don't care.
Okay, lit. So, yeah.
So, how do you keep yourself entertained throughout the nights?
I just pretty much go to the club. I've been told to be super careful, so I always make sure I got a little sip before I leave.
Very good.
And then I party. I'm pretty much living the same. Like, as far as my friends thought, they just thought I went on, like, an exotic vacation with some hot guy I met from out of town. And it didn't work out, and we broke up, and then I came back, and...
Went through a goth phase, only go out with him at night.
Oh, no, I already dressed like this.
Oh, fair.
So you still connect with your mortal kind life?
Yeah.
It's a little...
Well, I mean, the couple of friends that matter, most of them, like, really suck.
It's just weird. Sorry.
It's very fortunate.
Weird. Sorry. Yeah. Yes.
I mean, not really, because, like, I want to show them all the cool shit I can do, and I can't. As far as I know, that'll get me, like, yeah.
I appreciate you abiding by the masquerade, even if you are not affiliated.
Oh, yeah, no, Dad says they'll kill you real quick out here.
To say. Should you be interested, and I'll say this loud enough for Alejandra here, should you be interested, I imagine you learned quite a bit from your father.
Mm-hmm.
Should you be interested in learning more, we have a school for that.
Oh, yeah, he told me about that. Not interested. Sorry, no offense.
It's very fair. Simply wanted to extend the offer.
I've been told things about that school, and quite frankly, I think I would, like, choke out the lady that runs it, like, real quick.
Real
quick.
There is a getting used to, but I will say that the student body has changed quite a bit, so...
I mean, I heard that her son's, like, kind of... But he's, like, the sheriff now. I don't think I'm allowed to say that.
Probably not.
Are you allowed to say the sheriff's hot? That feels weird.
I mean, I won't tell him if you don't want to.
Okay, cool.
Do other people know you're here?
No,
I imagine
not at
not.
all.
I imagine not. It's now a secret between the four of us, yes?
Yeah, but, like, you're my brother, so I figured I had to tell you. No, like, Dad says apparently there's, like, a big rule in the city about not making new people, but apparently a couple of your primogen just don't abide by that, so...
That is correct, and
since we're not technically in the...
Camarilla?
Yeah, Calvilla, we're a little outside the law, but he's still trying to behave because I think, like, no offense, Dad, I think he, like, really wants them to like him or something.
I have to say I appreciate it.
I mean, don't want to die.
Very fair.
To be honest, this, way better than my life before, so.
Very fair. I'm Anton, by the way.
Hey.
Sorry.
No offense, not gonna shake your hand.
You've heard of me, then?
I've just heard not to shake hands with anybody.
Also a good idea.
But, yeah, different.
Family.
Yeah. But no, like, you really should come back from Monopoly. He's so bad at it.
Monopoly.
Yeah,
That
he's
sounds
so bad.
Amazing.
We gotta be careful what board games we play, so.
Why is that?
Well, like, a bunch of them are electronic now and got...
That's true.
But, like, card games and stuff, he loves them.
Oh.
He's wicked good at Uno. Like,
Uno.
Don't play him in Uno.
Of all the
I'm
games.
serious. But no, Monopoly, he's dog shit at it. It's amazing. Somehow, always winds up with Boardwalk. Like, first round, and eats it the rest of the game.
Well.
Cursed in multiple ways.
Oh, yeah. He's not bad at Yahtzee, I guess.
Sybil, it was great to meet you tonight.
Great to meet you, too. I guess now that we, like, formally know each other, I can stop fucking with you, and you can just, like, you know, just Text me sometime if you want to hang out.
Oh, please don't stop fucking with him.
Oh, I mean, I'm still gonna, like, fuck with you on a sisterly level, but, like,
Yeah.
I don't have to be cagey anymore. We can just hang out.
Gotcha. I'd like that.
I'd like that, too.
It's very nice to meet you as well.
Nice to meet you, too. I'm gonna go back to cleaning.
Young Gravy's on TikTok if you didn't know.
Oh, I know. I had to stop doing TikTok when, you know.
Yeah.
But no, like...
Selfie stick with the little button that pushes the button on the phone. Keep it away from you. Distance.
No, I don't show up on
That's
stuff
right.
now.
Shit.
Yeah.
My apologies. Still much to learn.
By the way, here, let me just walk you out.
Sure.
And she walks you guys to the front door.
As we're getting up, I'll say, and thank you again, Alejandro. We will keep your words in mind.
Thank you.
You're right. Not every Sabbat is made that way. Hopefully, maybe even the bishop, but we will find that out from her when we meet her in more detail.
There's a bishop in town?
Yes, there is. Bishop Lydia.
Can you please make me wits and awareness?
Yes.
Or actually, wits and insight.
Yes. Four successes.
He's bothered by it.
Okay. Yeah.
That's about all you can read off of him. He's just bothered to hear all that.
Yeah, so I'm actually going to push a little bit further and just go. It's Bishop Lydia. She's a Zemisi bishop.
Unfortunate. Unfortunate that they have a bishop in our city again.
Apparently she was made a bishop overseas and then came here.
Hmm.
Do you remember where, Aaron?
Spain, was it?
No, something like that. Spain,
France.
Greece, somewhere in that area.
Wits and insight again, please.
Okay. Four critical.
Okay. Unfortunately, does not beat 5.
That's all right.
And Alejandro just... I wonder what brought them all the way to Atlanta.
Said she used to live here. This was still her home.
And her old home, wherever it was, burned down.
And now she's here.
That sounds par for the course for Atlanta.
Mm.
I will keep an eye out for strange women.
She also mentioned there's more than just the fire. Something else. I'll remember eventually.
Any information, I will make sure to keep my eyes out, or at least have Sybil keep her eyes out when she goes out.
Absolutely. If I remember what I forgot, I will contact you.
Yes, do
the-
let me know.
Have a good night.
Good night.
And then I'll walk with Aaron and Sybil.
And Sybil's like guiding you guys towards the door with big eyes. She's like, that was uncomfortable.
Well, wasn't it?
That was very uncomfortable.
Times are, yes.
Okay. Dad, I'm just gonna walk him to the car. It's fine. He's like, okay. And she gets out the door and pulls it behind her. And she's like, so like, I'm really stir crazy. Whatever you guys do, it sounds like you get up to some good shit.
It's for
And-
the court, for the Camarilla, but yes.
Cool. Dear God, get me out of the house.
Huh.
Like, I'm tired of hanging out with the same, like, 2 shitheads. I'm tired of going to the same club. He thinks I'm safe. I usually just, like, go out and try and eat tacos in a parking lot of a Publix, and it's just not working for me anymore.
Look, is the front door closed?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna look in like the general direction of Alejandro and go. Sure,
Fucking thank you.
sure, actually.
Thank you.
Yes, we'll give you a sense of the city.
I mean, I already know the city. I just want to hang out with people who don't fucking suck and hang out with other vampires, because, like, let's
Turn a phrase,
face
but
it, hanging out with humans is weird now.
that's what I mean. Give you a view of the city through a new
whole
perspective.
Different perspective.
Oh, like Kindred style. Got it. Got it.
We'll talk.
Sweet. But yeah, text me anytime. Like, I know I'm giving you shit, but I've never had siblings, and, like, I know we're, like, fake siblings. We just have the same blood, but like, I don't know.
You
It's
form
nice.
bonds in interesting ways in this version of life.
Yeah.
We'll touch base soon,
Yeah. All right.
shall we?
Sounds great.
Bye.
Bye. I'll head us back to the car, and I'll sit in the car. I like her.
I like her more now that I've interacted with them. It's not just a persistent winky face.
I think it would be fun to make friends and you to get a stronger bond with your sibling.
I actually think that would be good too.
Yeah, get her out of the house, exploring. Seems like fun.
What could possibly? Nope. Stop right there.
You should stop right there.
Um,
Before we drive, are you satisfied?
yeah. Thank you. That was clarifying. Let's head back to the house and settle in.
Yes. Before we go, if you don't mind, though, I don't want us to run into more surprises before we get this settled.
Now.
I don't mean to be pushy, but we did just. You said yes, and then we came and met with Alejandro.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Quite frankly, I feel like we'll go back to the house and then some other thing will drop into our lap.
Okay.
And I'd like to get started.
Great.
If you don't mind.
All right. This was the deal. This was helpful. This was insightful. This was transactional. Is there a waiver I can sign? So, I haven't been fed on in years.
What is your concern?
It was horrible. And it was from at the time, the only person I trusted. And after that, it wasn't the same again. My sire at the time, he is helpful, but it's still different.
Mm.
My sire was a true gangrel. No Camarilla, no anarchs. He was out there, his own domain, and it was his rules. And when you're that removed from society and the masquerade, it's difficult for him to translate and be patient. And so when you challenge him, when you ask questions, even when you're just trying to find your own space, that mentality of his turns very quickly into a snap. And to see that was...
You went through a traumatic experience with this.
Yeah.
And in turn, I wish to offer you a statement, a perspective, and an offer. I am not your sire. I would wager that there are not many that would be like him. What you went through was terrible. And I am sorry for it. But I am not him. Others are not him. And I do not wish to make this experience uncomfortable for you. But I wish to remind you that I am not him.
Yeah.
The perspective is that because I am not your sire, you will not be experiencing this. In fact, as I have not met with Thomasina in that way for some time, ironically enough, you would have the power in this situation. Not to say that you would do anything for it, but this is not a situation where I wield something over you.
Gotcha.
And what I offer is that should you need, I can remove the memory of this ever happening. Though I imagine that is a bit more invasive even than this may be for you.
Yeah.
But it is something that can be done.
Yeah.
I'm not the most apt at comforting talk, but this is what I give.
Okay. And I will bite into my wrist and extend it out.
And I'm going to take his hand. Close your eyes. And I will put the wrist to my mouth and I will drink 1 hunger's worth, even though I'm not hungry, to see if I can learn Oblivion from Aaron and see what happens from that.
Okay. A true sign of trust between two coterie mates. To allow one to participate in something so previously traumatic. And so, Aaron, you will go up 1 hunger, and Anton, you will go down 1,
I'm still
though
at
you
1.
are at 1, so no effect.
Yep. And then once it's done, I'm going to lick the wrist to close the wound.
And I will just, out of habit, just jerk it back as quick as I can.
It's okay. I'll put my hand on his shoulder. It's okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And Aaron, if you could please make me composure and resolve.
Sure. Uh, 3 successes.
Okay. It definitely brought up some memories, but this did feel different. It was a lot more calm, more quiet, and it doesn't hurt as much.
Storyteller, I'm going to reach in my pocket and take out my phone,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to attempt to turn it on, see what happens.
It turns on.
No strange effects.
No strange effects.
Okay. And yeah, I have enough. I'd like to activate Oblivion Sight.
At this time, nothing occurs.
Nothing? Alright.
Yeah.
We'll have to see. Might take some time.
Okay.
I do not know if that worked. For all I know, maybe nothing happened. But if that is the case, then you were at least safe knowing that, yes?
Yeah. This.
Are you okay?
Yeah. A little shaken. I think I'll rest a little easier. I'm not too hungry, but I can always find something to eat.
We can head home.
Yep.
There's something in the fridge, yeah?
Yeah. I'll actually pull out the blood bag that I pocketed,
Okay.
and just take a sip.
Okay, and so Anton, while you drive,
Yep.
Aaron, you will down that and go back down to 1 hunger.
1 success.
1 success driving.
Yep.
The taste of the blood is distracting. It is thicker than you're used to. There is a smoky quality to it that you don't quite recognize. It definitely tastes similar to when you drink a soda that maybe has a little too much seltzer or not enough syrup, and the slightly off taste is just distracting enough that a couple times you have to swerve a little bit when you drive.
But apart from that, I don't seem to be experiencing...
You're not feeling anything different yet.
And especially nothing that, happened immediately with,
Nothing immediate.
him or... Yeah. All right.
It very quickly dawns on me that if you start to fritz out, you're driving. Oh.
I believe a car is a more complex machine.
Yep. I mean, I can just...
If that is the case, I'll simply drift over into the side.
There we go.
Okay, and so you guys do manage to get home.
Mm-hmm.
And when you pull up to your house, you pull up to the garage, and you see a black envelope is taped to your front door.
Let's look around, see if there's anybody around.
No one is around. There are treads in the ground that show that somebody probably pulled up here recently.
Well, that is ominous. Let's
Do we even have a mailbox?
This house does not have a mailbox.
are we even in the postal
I
system?
was gonna say, are we expecting some mail?
Are we ever?
No, you were right.
I'll turn the car off and get out and walk to the door with the envelope on it.
Okay. It is a black matte finish envelope with gold lettering on it in an overly fanciful font that says The Shepherds.
Doesn't look like one of Olivia's.
No at all.
Pluck it off the thing and I'll turn it over and open it to where Aaron and I can read at the same time.
Okay. Inside is a solid black card with luxurious embossed design of a nude woman holding a sign in her hands. The name on the sign is unfamiliar to the both of you, but when you open the card, it says, "Are you ready, Atlanta? The once in an unlife experience is coming to your town for one night only. The Succubus Club will be taking over soon. Text the number below to reserve your tickets for the exclusive VIP experience and all the details such as location and time. See you there, darlings." And there is a small snake drawn in the bottom right corner of the card.
I recognize that name, don't I?
It's not terribly familiar to you, but if you want to make we'll call this wits and we'll say politics.
Okay. The snake kind of gives me pause to think, though. 4 successes.
4 successes. You've heard of the Succubus Club before, but really only in reference to Chicago.
Yeah.
It was big in Chicago, but aside from that, you don't recall much else
I know that there was a succubus club
in Chicago.
in Chicago and had something to do with Kindred.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Most interesting.
Huh.
Seems we have a personal invitation.
I have to dress up again. Do I have to dress? I don't even know what kind of club this is.
I'll have to look into it a bit more, but not quite the way we had to dress up last time.
Gotcha.
And I think that is a very wonderful spot for us to leave off this week. Thank you guys again so much for joining us. We cannot wait to see you next week as we will have some special faces in studio. And remember to take care of yourselves and each other. And sign up for Virtual HorrorCon at virtualhorrorcon.com to hang out with us and watch some cool actual plays and check out some amazing panels. We love you all. Bye.